guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video. Y'all please do not come here hating on me because I am not the one, okay? And we're trying to be a nice K-Dot 2019. Today we are going to film me doing this little simple warm smoky eye. Let's see how I did this. So I've already primed with the Fenty primer, moisturized before that. So now I'm gonna get started with my eyebrows. So right here I'm just gonna use an e.l.f. pencil to fill in my brows. It doesn't match me perfectly, but they only have like 3 colors. So this is the shade that works best. So yeah. I'm just gonna keep spooling and filling in and brushing out. Y'all, I forgot to press record the whole time. I was all like doing this, like whatever. Okay. We're concealing with Maybelline Fit Me and Fair. So basically I'm just going to go through and line my brows, and then I'm going to take an e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush and buff it out. And then after I finish buffing it out, I'm just going to go ahead and move on to eyeshadow without setting it. So today, I'm going to take this yellow from the Juvia's Place palette. So when I do my makeup, I typically do one eye at a time. But my friend JC always asks me, like, how do I do that? And so I was going to try to do both for this video. So that's kind of like what I'm talking about here, is how I usually do one at a time. But then I decide, it's going to take long. So basically I come to a conclusion that I shouldn't do both at the same time. I should just do one, right? Because then this video is going to be super long. Okay, let's continue. And Morphe M441 and Morphe M443. Wet n Wild brush that doesn't have a name. An e.l.f. Professional Defining Eye Brush. And then some random brush by a base eyeshadow brush by Real Techniques. So after the yellow from the Zulu palette, going in with this brown up here. So this brown is like a yellowy brown and it blends in really well with the yellow that I used. So I'm just going to buff it all in my crease and use it as a transition shade to blend everything together. Then I'm going to use this e.l.f. I have a lot of e.l.f. products. e.l.f. Matte for Matte Shadow. I'm trying to save coin, okay? I've been trying to go drugstore brown. And there's nothing wrong with that because, as you can see, we make it work over here. So basically I take the dark brown from that Matte for Mattes palette and start buffing it into my crease to blend everything together, and start blending it into the outer corner as well, just to start darkening things up. In this part of the video, I kind of started talking about like myself, because this was going to be like a get to know me. But I feel like everybody who watches this first video is going to be mostly people that know me. So I figured later in the future, I'll probably do like a Q&A. So people can ask questions on stuff they actually want to know. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to add some black in this outer corner to darken it up like this one. So that black is also from the same palette, and I'm just using this small detailed brush to kind of just put it on the outer corner and then blending it in with the brush that I used for the brown. And this part I kind of started, talking about my goals and whatnot for the future, but I'm going to keep that a secret for now. Or I'm going to do it all. So just going back in with the brown to darken it up some more and get some more dimension going in there. If you know, you know. So I'm just taking some concealer on my finger and dabbing it onto the front of my eyelid. I don't want a super sharp cut crease, so I'm not using a brush. And later I discovered that I didn't put enough concealer to brighten it up because the shadow turns out to be not as bright as the first eye, but whatever, it's okay, it happens. We still got it done and made it work, so everything's all good. So then I'll just take a gold shade from, I believe it's a Carly Bybel palette. I took a lighter shade on the inner corner of my eyelid, and then towards the middle I used a darker gold shade just because I'm extra or whatever. And this is around the time I start to realize that I didn't put enough concealer because it's not looking as bright, and you will definitely see my reaction. No. But whatever, we finessed it, made it work. After the gold, I'll add a brown shade to the middle to kind of blend it together and, you know, try to finesse it the best I can. So then I'm going to add a little bit more back in here. So I'll just go back in with the darker shades just to darken up everything back in the crease and make sure nothing got lost while we're adding the shimmers, and, you know, just keep blending it until I feel to my preferences that enough is enough, which is a really long time because I'm never satisfied. Then I'll go in and add some eyeliner, which I was going to do off camera, but whatever, here I am. And just a thin line. I'm sorry, I have no idea what lashes I'm putting on, but the eyeliner I'm using is Wet n Wild, which I really like because it's a nice thin brush, gives you a clean, sharp line, and it's also really cheap. So can you beat that? I don't think so. Sometimes it's not this easy for me to put on my lash, but I was so thankful that today was one of those good days where, you know, things were just working with me until the end of this video. Already primed with the Fenty primer, so you know I'm gonna use my girl Fenty Pro Filter in 190. Okay, so you guys will never guess what I dropped. My Amrezy highlighter. Thankfully it didn't break, but I was still pretty mad at myself, you know, because I dropped it. So I just squirted my foundation on the back of my hand, kind of dabbed it on my face with my fingers. Sometimes I'll just put it directly from the bottle onto my face, kind of just depends how I'm feeling. How do you guys apply your foundation? I don't think there's like a right or wrong way, but I just like to experiment. So I kind of don't know if this is really my color. I feel like it matches me once it oxidizes, but I'm not really sure because when I apply it, it looks super light. So I'm just using a Sonia Kashuk blending sponge to blend this all in. Shout out to my girl Rocio, she put me on, me pointing at my pimple. It's a really nice soft blending sponge and it works really well. Then I'm just going to go in with, I believe it's like a blush contour duo by e.l.f., another e.l.f. product, and use a sponge to blend that in. I typically do concealer before contour, but I didn't really know if I wanted to do concealer today because sometimes I get really cakey. But I was like, you know what, whatever, we'll just go for it. So I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Porcelain. Just put a little bit on because, you know, I didn't want to do too much. Then I'll just blend that out with the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer. You know, we in here repping for e.l.f. Blend it out with the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush, and then just go back in with the sponge to make sure everything is, you know, well blended, looking flawless. Can never be too blended. And after that, then we'll go through and set everything. I don't even know what I'm talking about here, but you know I'm doing the most. Look at these facial expressions. Girl, ain't nobody listening to you. So, yeah, concealer. I want whatever. Set my face with Maybelline Fit Me in the color Light, which is not really my color. It's kind of too dark. So I typically use, I believe it's Fair, which makes me look a little more brighter. But it was my fault. I grabbed the wrong one. Well, I grabbed what I thought was the right one, but it was in the wrong spot, which I should have checked it. So that's kind of on me. But basically, I'll just go through and set in the areas where I concealed. Then I'll dust off the excess. And then I'll go to bronze, which I end up not really liking because it looks kind of reddish to me. And I want it to look more brown. So yeah, you'll see how that I feel about that. So basically, I try to finesse everything in my life that doesn't go well. So I go back in with some LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Toffee in the areas that I didn't set, even though I kind of used bronzer, so in a way I set it, whatever. And I kind of just try to blend it in and, you know, deepen it up to make it a more warmer brown tone instead of a reddish tone. And I'm just kind of not so satisfied, but I'm like, whatever, we'll make it work. And not really realizing that I had already set the rest of my face, I kind of go back in and try to contour more areas, you know, just because I deepened up my cheeks, so I wanted to deepen up the rest of my face as well. So I just hit a few more points and go back in and blend all this out with the same sponge as well. And not the biggest fan, but you know, we made it work. Then I went through and contoured my nose a little bit. So then I'm just going to take some of the setting powder and sweep it underneath my cheekbones to kind of define that contour just a little bit more. After that, I'm going to take the dark brown that we used on our eyes and just buff it in on the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the black that we used and just put it in the outer corner on the lower lash line to kind of add some more depth. And we're going to go through and blend that in all together and make sure it looks pretty seamless and looks good. Then we're going to take the shimmer and put it on the inner corner just to do everything we did on the top eye on the bottom. So now I'm just going to take some mascara and go over my lashes to blend them in with my falsies. Then I'm going to go through and coat my bottom lashes just to go ahead and complete, you know, our eye look. And we are almost done. Now, setting spray. Shout out to the bestie. So I'm just going to spray that all over my face. And while my face is still damp, I'm going to go in with my favorite Amrezy highlighter. And I'm going to take a BH Cosmetics fan brush. I really like this fan brush because it is so fluffy. So I really feel like it diffuses the highlight and blends it out so there's no harsh lines. Then I'm going to go through and highlight the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose, as well as my inner corner tear ducts with the Amrezy highlight as well. I'm going to go through and highlight my Cupid's bow, and then go back with the fan brush and highlight my temples, as well as my chin a little bit. So, the hardest part of my makeup is always picking out a lip gloss. So, I'm going to line my lips with MAC Stone liner. So if you ain't know, now you know. This is my ride or die lip liner. I got this lip liner like 3 years ago and it is still going strong with me. I pair it with just about any lip gloss and it looks great. So we're going to go with the Alyssa Ashley gloss. So first, I apologize to myself and Alyssa Ashley for taking so long to buy this because, oh my gosh, I love this gloss. The applicator is so soft and so perfectly shaped, and the color and smell and taste, girl. Hopefully I'll have the courage and time to put out more videos for you guys. So like I said, just let me know what you want to see and I'll be sure to try to make it happen for you. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. You know, if you know, you know. Alright, bye guys.